once in the past before, and you can find that one on my YouTube channel, like I mentioned. Cardsphere does not have a code for me, so they just go on there and use their service. No special code necessary. What's the story behind the salad emote? I'm going first. Oh, this is probably not keepable going first. No, yeah, you're fine. You're fine, just in case. Just check them out. They're good stuff. I think this is a mulligan here. This 5's actually very good. So this deck is looking to kind of, it plays a tempo game plan, so it's looking to kind of play creatures that like put your opponent a little bit like a step behind while you pressure their health total. This is probably my favorite Magic archetype in general. Just like you play with cards that are maybe a little bit underpowered on average, but have a lot of pretty powerful, basically you kill your opponent with cards in their hand a lot of the time. Tempest Djinn is one of the bigger payoffs in this archetype. It is an 0/4 with flying that gets +1 attack for every basic island we control. And then Curious Obsession is kind of the engine in this deck. This is a 1/1 enchant creature here that says whenever the creature deals damage to the opponent, we get to draw a card. So ideally we want to strap Curious Obsession to a flying creature of some sort and just bury them. So we're looking for a flying or an unblockable creature to strap this Obsession to. Feels really bad. Roll again to then flood it out here a little bit. I don't want to put Curious Obsession on my Merfolk Trickster because my opponent's pretty easily able to block my Merfolk Trickster here. So again, ideally looking for an evasive threat to strap this to so we can go ahead and start generating some card advantage every turn. So it's really appealing to counter this Findbroker, but I don't think I can. I think countering the Findbroker is playing to not lose. Whereas if I hold on to this Wizard's Retort to protect whatever threat I put this Curious Obsession on, I'm more likely to be able to actually win the game. If we don't draw an evasive threat next turn, I'm probably going to go ahead and pack it in. But if we find an evasive threat next turn, there's a very real chance that we could still win this game, I think. Like, if my opponent hadn't had the Assassin's Trophy for the Tempest Djinn right away, we would have run away with the game very quickly. That one, however, can get Essence Scattered and gains them way too much health. This deck's very good. The Blue-Black Pirates deck that I've been playing, it plays a pretty similar game plan to this as well. There's a flying threat. So, I think this attack with the Findbroker was a little aggressive on their part. I think they're not prioritizing their health total enough. I think I'm just gonna let this go and try and draw another threat here. They're not really applying pressure to me, so I think letting that go is fine. I'm gonna let this happen, and hopefully it's not a 4-3. If this is just a 3-2 or a 2-1, I'll be able to. That's a 4-3, and we drew a land. All right, that's why you get to play best of threes, chat. Because sometimes you flood out. Alright, so we have some Disdainful Strokes here in our sideboard. This card is very, very good in this matchup. This card I think is a big reason to be in blue right now. I think this card is absurdly strong. Not only in like this matchup, but in this format in general, I think. I'm sure these Charter Courses, I think. Maybe I'm just not supposed to get rid of the selection. It's a sleep matchup. I don't think so. I'm just going to try it like this. What do we bring in sleep for? Aggro decks. Yeah, I don't think the opponent's deck is quite aggressive enough to bring in the sleep. I agree with that assessment that this deck is good for new Magic players to pick up. I think playing a deck like this will teach you a lot of principles that are key to like being a good Magic player the more you play it. Like, this deck has draws, like, busted draws where it just, like, gets to run people over sometimes, but it also is a deck that will really reward you for being familiar with the cards that it plays and how it works. These guys are just 1/1 unblockables. I'm gonna start running them down here. Just Island Djinn, and then, like, have 5 evasive power here. Wow, yeah, that's a good one to get rid of. That card is not particularly good against us. Then, like, something like Ritual of Soot is something we're a little bit afraid of here, but, like, starting next turn, I'm gonna have Disdainful Stroke up to counter that. If they don't have a way to kill this right here, we're gonna run them down very quickly. So, do they have a trophy or a cast down is the question. Looks like it. It's fine. Really want to draw a copy of Curious Obsession here. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one resolve. Wild Growth Walker is really scary. They left it on top, which means they have more Explorer cards, which kind of sucks for us. So I'm gonna let this attack happen. I'm gonna go ahead and Trickster tap the Shadelight Ranger. So that way next turn we can attack for 4. Okay. Every point of damage we sneak in is really good for us. So if they have like land, Growth Walker, Jadelight Ranger, I don't think we're going to be able to power through that without having drawn a Curious Obsession. I think there's no blocks here. It's a dive down. Okay. Yep. This attack doesn't do anything here because they have a 1/3. Showed Rats should hold lands. That's a good point. It is a good specific suggestion. Thank you for that. I love that. This is something that I've really loved about Dive Down in the Pirates deck too. The fact that like Dive Down doubles as a combat trick is like super relevant for situations like this. Nothing quite came together for us too much there. A couple too many lands, not enough Curious Obsessions, yada yada yada. It's one of the blue-black tempo deck I've been playing is similar to this. It's a little less budget friendly though, and it has things like Dire Fleet Poisoner in it that can like help you like catch up against these bigger creatures, which is nice. You also get to play Thief of Sanity for the green-black matchup, which is very good. Thief of Sanity is very powerful. This is your ideal start. It's unblockable creature into Curious Obsession, just like go go go. Anytime your Curious Obsession draws like 2+ cards, you generally bury them deep in the water. Wizard's Retort is quite good here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and pass this turn because I would like to ideally protect my Curious Obsession creature. So you'll notice I didn't play the Trickster out to tap this before combat because I wanted them to attack with it so that way my 2/2 can eat their 1/1. Alright, sweet. And Wizard's Retort, you'll notice this is modified down to a 2 casting cost because I now have this Merfolk Trickster in play, which is a wizard. So now I've got my draw engine going. I've got some protection up to make sure it gets to stick around. Keep 1 land, 1 drop obsession. Yeah, probably. I think that hand is just like everything you want to be doing. Sure. This card, not inherently super powerful, but provides a little bit of selection for us, which is nice. This is probably a matchup where these Essence Scatters come out. Doesn't look like my opponent has a ton of creatures. So, their thing died, they gained a health, which means they trigger these Dawn of Hope, so I assume they're going to draw some cards here. Get a little bit of card advantage of their own going. Feeling pretty good here. Yeah, it ticks the boxes that you're interested in ticking in this deck for sure. I think this is fine. We kind of want to find Tempest Djinn, so that way we can, like, have a really large attacker in place. We kind of beat through all this, like, annoying health gain that they have. Oh, you know what? That was wrong to play that out when I did, because if I find a Tempest Djinn here, now I can't play it and leave up my counterspell. You'd probably play 8 Obsessions if you could play 8 in this deck, huh? There are a bunch of standard legal basics in Arena, yes. Nope, that one can stay right there. And double block here. Fair. Have some Dawn of Hope triggers. Oh, right, I attacked. This is just a straight up draw 2. Deal. Oh, jeez. I messed up. Oh, gosh. I forgot that the guy they just traded with was my only wizard. I was like, why are these... I shouldn't have played the second chart, of course. I should have just played this to hold up Wizard's Retort. If they have, like, an actual sweeper here, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Or that. Oh, jeez. Holy crap. I could lose this. Yeah. That's a pretty big mistake. Yeah, I could have just scattered. Instead, I'm dying. So I hit them for 5 here. I probably want to leave back blockers. I don't really need to leave back blockers. I'm gonna have Nightveil Sprite as a blocker. So, hopefully I just, like, start playing these things out and I can counterspell them. They have 2 counters here. They have 6 lands up. I'm just not even gonna try. Alright, so I messed up my sequencing there because I wasn't keeping track of the fact that I lost a wizard. Could have cost me. This is probably a sleep matchup, huh? I'm gonna trade these scatters for sleeps, I think. Seems reasonable. This ain't good enough. It's probably a keep. I'm, like, not excited to keep it, but I can't imagine that, like, lands Mist-Cloaked Sprite is. Like, if you're, like, Steven Speck palming Curious Obsessions to your opener, this deck's probably unbeatable. Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna be able to beat this this Sprite Mate. We're gonna play the old tricky here this turn. Yeah, right? That's the upside to playing the blue-black Pirates deck, too, is that, like, the blue-black Pirates deck has cast down in it, so you, like, actually get to play removal. I think we're pretty dead here. We're just, like, not going to beat these things when we're on the draw. And that's the downside to playing a tempo deck like this without hard answers in it. When your opponent kind of gets to the board like that, you really just don't have a lot you can do. Spell Pierce actually seems pretty bad here. They actually haven't showed us much removal, huh? Maybe I sideboarded bet. We didn't draw these cards, but we just like want these mages. I'll leave a couple scatters in. Let's try this. Hey, what's going on, Jesse? Your catch us, we are 15 minutes in, so we're heading into game 3 of our second match, actually. Got kind of run over in the first one. I think this is probably okay. Like, we have Scatter on the play, and, like, they have a lot of 2-mana creatures, it seems, so if I get to, like, scatter their turn 2 play, and then, Djinn on 3 and just start beating them down, seems reasonable. Perfect. Djinn on 3 into Djinn on 4. It's very, very strong. Oh, yeah, look at your curve. Scatter it. Yeah, Exclusion Mage is an unsummon effect, so I boarded those in, so it's just actually rebranded Mana War, Human of War. Djinn plus Sleeping Mages. They should just, like, thoroughly be bounced out of this game. Smash. Got him. Do. Djinn makes me happy inside. It's sweet. It's a sweet card. You got a friend in me. Do 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 do. Oh, the old stretch here. Just crossed the 9-hour mark. I don't know that I'm gonna go this long every Friday, but listen, chat, you can mix and match your children's references, okay? Listen, okay, I'm gonna give you the sweetest tip about this mono blue deck. You see these 3 cards over here? These 3 cards mean it doesn't matter what these 4 are, you keep. That's what these 3 cards. People that like shortcuts, mental shortcuts, you keep those 3 cards. Doesn't matter what the rest of them are. Those 3, keep them. Every single time. Adventurous Impulse, okay? Not quite Oath of Nissa. Instructions unclear, mulligans to 3. God bless. Alright, Curious Obsession. Don't fail me now, Curious Obsession. Ew. Alright, unless they play a big... If we can dodge, like, a Nullhide this turn, we probably can't lose. Beast Whisperer. This is whenever you cast. That's kind of scary. And we might just be able to make their card advantage not matter here. If they play a bunch of cheap creatures, we could get in trouble. Yeah, looks like they're playing Elves. Sweet. We actually have a couple of Elf decks in the queue. I think there's a green, black, and a mono green in my queue right now. Alright, so if I miss on a land here again, do I just upkeep Trickster the Beast Whisperer to stop them from drawing cards? I continue streaming standards on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to do standard every Friday. It depends on... I don't know. If it stays popular, I probably will. The standard content's just been absurdly popular lately, which is awesome because I've been enjoying it a lot. So play the old tricky dick here, which in addition to diddling the creature, this also removes all the text on it till end of turn. I think this is definitely a sleep matchup. That is a big scary. I think we're gonna end up being too slow here, just to mix it like being on the draw and not having enough lands, unfortunately. Arena taking a quick power nap here. Not gonna do a full show because we just did one of those, but I do need to load it back on up. Yeah. My standard numbers have been almost 50% more all week compared to my standard / arena numbers compared to modern have been like 50% more all week. And I'm enjoying this format more than modern, so it's kind of like all signs point to play more arena, play more standard. Probably want the Exclusion Mages. Yeah, that's 60. Let's do it. Oh, as good as Djinn on the play is in this matchup, I think I gotta mulligan that. Hey, look at that. Remember our rule, chat? Do you remember? I know our rule let us down last game, but it can't let us down 2 games in a row, right? I think it's honestly, Laughing Skull, I think it's a mix of the two. I think it's been a long time since we've had any format in Magic that's as good as this one. And I think Arena is much more pleasant to watch than Magic Online. Island. Oh no. Oh no. Hello, Jen. Twitch is okay. Not everybody's as strange as I am. Define strange, that's fair. That's fair. We're in a pretty good spot here. So they've got their Beast Whisperer down now, but I've got my, like, Curious Obsession Voltron assembled. So, I think I just do this. And then do I just, like, upkeep, tap the Whisperer? I think that's the plan again here. And then, like, I've got double counterspell the following turn. I actually probably just sleep them, right? This card's like a hit and run. It steals games. Yeah, if I sleep them, I hit them for 5/7, and then I have them dead with unblock. I am an island short of sleeping. Let's do that. You. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, my elf opponent. Doop-de-doo, doop-de-doo, doop-de-doo-de-doo-de-doo. I thought Arena was bugged, forced me to hit resolve twice, but it turns out it was just allowing me to expansion my own spell. Yeah, Bob, it did little things like that, yeah. And believe it or not, that was a feedback thing. It didn't always do that. It's just like when you can cast expansions in your hand, it auto holds priority for you because that's what you want it to do some of the time. Instead of having to like fumble for the control key. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. A month and a half ago, I was kind of worried about like the long term of my job and like the future of digital magic with like Artifact coming around. Most of those concerns have left because this application has far exceeded my expectations and what I could have asked for. All right, last time our best start on the draw wasn't good enough, but this time we're gonna guaranteed curve into Tempest Djinn, so that's nice. Yeah, I agree, Pikes. I think once this hits a non-rotating format, it's going to just be absurdly good. I think we should be in a good... So, like, their start is very good on the play, too, to be fair here. But this is probably one of our better starts here. Okay. I think I give them a turn with the Beast Whisperer. Do I? I'm going to start by attacking and see what we draw. If I draw 1 mana creature here, I'm probably going to go 1 mana creature plus Trickster. I think I'm going to go 1 mana creature plus Trickster here. Just like the upkeep tap your thing that draws cards. Is there ever a time where you don't draw a card off Obsession? No, basically not. Wow, they are going to draw a lot of cards. All right. All right. Pikes with the sub gift. Thank you. I was just dead next turn, right? Like this is 8 and then this island is 9. Modern Menagerie will do Pikes. I mean, yeah, you drew a bunch of cards, but how about kill you? Hey, Sea Breeze, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for the support. Thanks for shipping those Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Do they have a way to kill my flyer? Big fan of Happy Huglet playing Arena. Awesome. I'm a big fan of being happy playing Arena too. Alright. Can I kill you now? Lethal Island. Hada! Ugh. Ugh. I love how the ones with more attack make a bigger smash. Yeah, the opponent was playing Elves. One of the saddest feelings in Magic is when drawing cards doesn't win you the game. Yep. Sometimes. And that's like, people like often ask me what the tempo decks do. And tempo decks, the best way to describe a tempo deck is a tempo deck is a deck that's like looking to kill its opponent with cards in their hand, basically. That's it's one of the best sources of card advantage, killing people with cards in their hand. You draw cards and kill them. Yep, virtual card advantage. Doesn't matter how many cards they're up if they can't leverage them. Easy mulligan here, no threats. Ayo! Oh, I'm gonna keep that on top because it protects my Mist-Cloaked Herald. It's a scary Doomblade. Bug Helper, thank you for re-upping for the 6th month in a row there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Thorn Lieutenant in black-green. That's interesting. I think this card's very good. I had this in all of my black-green builds, but then it, like, kind of fell out of favor. Is black-green good for this deck? I have to imagine it's probably okay, right? And this is probably going to be a game where I play my threats one turn behind. Like, I'll play this on 3 and this on 4. Except they made me use the dive down right away, so that's no longer the case. But if I had the dive down to hold up the entire time, I'd probably just play one turn behind. Let's see what we draw here. If I draw another dive down, I'm going to play a turn behind. Just to, like, try and keep my threat alive. Spell Pierce. Alright, Spell Pierce is worth playing a turn behind. This counters Vraska's Contempt and Vraska. Nullhide Ferox. Okay, so they're playing a more aggressive deck. This is probably going to just turn into a game 6 here sometime soon. Not this turn, though. Huh. The Oratog playing the role of sub Santa this hour. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Let me know if there's a deck in the queue you'd like to bump up with those. I appreciate the support. To all the wonderfully new gifted subs, be sure to check out the subs Discord server. It's quite wonderful. Ugh. Oh, it's so big. Why is it so large? Oh, gosh. Well, we're dead. Okay, so this is another sleep Exclusion Mage matchup. It has trample too, unfortunately. Can't just like throw a 1-2 speed bump in front of it. Alright, so I'm gonna trim the Spell Pierce and these Charter Courses I probably don't have time for. Oh, you know what? I messed up. I should have taken a Scry, a Surveil, and a draw there, because I could have hit a Merfolk Trickster. Could have hit a Merfolk Trickster there. Yeah, I didn't think about that. 63 cards. So on trim the dive downs, they probably don't have that much removal in their Ferox deck. Like I know they had Assassin's Trophy that game, but I'd be willing to bet they don't have that many. And like if they have removal, it's like only 4 Assassin's Trophies. Trickster buys me another turn at least, which like gives me time to draw more other stuff, which seems fine. Yeah, I'll keep that. Exclusion Mage might actually be kind of medium here. It's really bad against Thorn Lieutenant, right? Deal. Okay. Get to hold up these Wizard's Retorts now for the next couple of turns. Deal. He's dead, Jim. I think I'm gonna counter this Pulp Collector, honestly. I've got 2 of them, and I kind of just want to, like, use my mana this turn. Maybe because I have the Exclusion Mage, it's worth it to let the Pulp Collector resolve. I'm kind of losing this race at the moment. Scatter's a decent pickup. I think I just keep hitting them here. I don't think I want to bounce this and give them another Explore trigger with it. Yep. Just shock it, right? Yep. I think I'm just taking this hit. We really just like need to draw a copy of Sleep. Okay. This is a card that could steal the game here. We could potentially have enough blockers here to, like we draw an island next turn. So, like, if I draw an island or a sleep here, if they have a removal spell, I'm just, like, dead to rights, so it doesn't matter. But, like, they're gonna put this, Steel Leaf Champion into play here, which makes this a 3/3, which is fine, because next turn I can Merfolk Trickster, tap this, block this. And so if I draw an island, I just kill them in 2 attacks here. Second Merfolk Trickster. Okay, yeah, I guess that kind of does stuff. Oh yeah, that's true. Ferox locks them out of it. Forgot about that. Good call. They're dead if they don't have anything, but they could have stuff here, right? I'm gonna run the no blocks here. Yep, that's what I thought. Sleep! Sleep! I think we're actually dead, right? Well, because they could have had anything like this, right? They're not dead, chat. They're at 7. This makes 6. I think we're dead. We're not actually dead on board, right? So this can block here, this can jump here, this can eat here. I go to 3, and then a land is lethal next turn. Oh, I could attack here and then go chump this and then take 7. Yeah, I guess that's true. I die to any 5 or 6 power creature because this will be able to get trample. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the line. Yeah, we block Ferox Pulp Collector. Oh, land from them is lethal. Yeah, maybe that's a bad attack. We died to big creatures and untapped lands. It was a close game. For those that are wondering why I'm conceding to this, when Pelt Collector gets a third counter on it, it gains trample, which means I can no longer jump block it and they're going to attack for lethal. That was really close. We had a couple of rips there. If we would have hit the land a turn sooner, we would have been able to kill them in exactly 2 swings, but we were a little bit short there. Decks like tempo decks like this tend to be very thin margins. Close games all around, not a lot of room for misplays. Well, I don't think I made any mistakes that game. I don't think there were any big dumb moments. Opponent goes first. This hand's not amazing, but it's definitely in the range of keepable, right? Like, we have Stormtamer into Wizard's Retort on 2, or just like Nightveil Sprite, depending on what the opponent's doing, like when we need to hold the counterspell up. It's funny how what we've played against is like changed as the night goes on. Like, we played against a bunch of Jeskai decks earlier, and now we've played against like 3 Land War Elf decks in a row with this one. I feel like this deck is probably worse against Land War Elf decks than it is against a lot of things in the format. I think in general this deck is a lot better against things like mid-range and control than these mid-range creature decks, these aggressive creature decks. We still would have died that game. I don't think there's a reason to do that, Skip Den. And because the thing they ended up playing was Thorn Lieutenant, that also wouldn't have been a line for lethal. So like being like, you haven't really made a case for like why it's better objectively, and being results based, it's also not better. I don't think that it explicitly preys on threat light decks, Cloud Azir, because decks that are full of removal can sometimes give it trouble too. I think it explicitly tends to prey on decks that have a mixture of both threats and removal, so that way they don't pressure you a ton, and there's some small pieces of removal that they do have, you get to kill. Yeah, mono green and mono red seem really tough for this deck. No, we are playing best of 3s on the ladder. The single games are actually super skewed towards mono red. So I've got this stuff going on, but like another part of the problem here too is like, in addition to like being on the draw in this matchup, our opponents also we also haven't had a Curious Obsession, so like we haven't had a way to really snowball advantage. A lot of the cards that this deck is playing are individually very weak, which means that when you don't have something like Curious Obsession to kind of power through it, it feels really bad because like your individual card quality is very low. I want Sleeps and Exclusion Mages like we did last time. Spell Pierce, Dive Down, Opt Out maybe. Seems reasonable. Maybe Dive Down's better than Charter Course. They really don't have removal though. Opt's probably better than Charter Course for resource efficiency. Nah, I don't think so. I think matchups like this are just bad for this deck, and that's okay. Honestly, I think if you wanted to hedge these green aggressive decks, you would want to main deck Sleep more than anything. I think Sleep's a great tool for stealing games in these matchups. But I also think, like, we've been on the draw, our draws have been below average, and the opponent's draws have been good. Which is, like, a good mixture for, like, not having a chance in a matchup that's, like, kind of bad for you, right? Like, if they're running above average and your draws are below average and the matchup's not good to begin with, like, that's not a good recipe for success. I lost a draft because I milled myself out with Rel. Like, why would you play Weed Dogger? Like, I assume you play that alongside, like, the Drakes, but, like, Weed Doggernauts is, like, worse than Crackling Drake and Enigma Drake, right? I'm also not sure I believe Weed Doggernauts is better than Gutter Snipe, but you're playing it alongside that. Okay, maybe? I don't know. Again, that sounds like you're playing cards that are like, you're playing a synergy style deck where like your average power level of your cards is pretty low. I would love a Curious Obsession. Met you once at Gen Con and you were super nice. What's going on, Victor? Thanks for the bits. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. Gen Con's a lot of fun. Chris and I have done that the last couple of years now. Alright, so Curious Obsession up. That's another Thrashing Brontodon. Let's just put this on here and smash. The final list for the Creeping Chill deck should be on my Stream Decker page. Nope, I am in for another Djinn. In for a Djinn, chat. The Djinn's actually lethal next turn, right? Because I'm gonna play a 5th island and then have 11 power in the air. I'm playing from a Linux system, but installing Wine on Linux is very easy. God bless package managers. Yeah, and I don't think I have anything really to do here. These games where we're both just like kind of passing in the night aren't particularly interesting. Don't have a lot of play to them. I think so. Before we played this set of games, or started this set of games tonight, I wasn't quite sure if I liked the blue-black tempo deck more than this mono blue deck, and I think these games have convinced me pretty solidly that I prefer the Pirates deck to this mono blue deck. I feel like the mixture of like having actual removal in my deck is important, and like this deck feels really medium when you don't have Curious Obsession. The Pirates deck is a little bit better. Djinn adds nicely to the top of this curve. How many matches are we in? We're about 45 minutes in, so I'm going to play probably one more after this. We played a lot of really quick matches. And then Sultai Dredge is going to be my last thing to wrap the day up. I've been going for almost 10 hours already. So I could play the Trickster out this turn because it's more mana efficient, but I think I'd rather play the Stormtamer and like hold the Trickster to like fog like a 5-4 or a 6-6 when it could attack for a turn. Just like those small plays when you're like racing are really important for getting ahead. Hey, look, a 5-4 will want to tempo later. Never mind that one. That one can stay right there. Alrighty, perfect. Huh. Hey, Zigzags, thank you for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for shipping your Prime this way again this month and keeping me employed here. So, do I want to take a hit from this before I start Exclusion Maging them? I think I want to just mage them right away. So if I mage them, it puts the Steel Leaf Champion behind to turn, and the Exclusion Mage gets to trade with the Branch Walker, which kind of alleviates the other pressure that I have on the ground. And I'm like poking them with these 1/1s, which is not nothing. Just gonna go ahead and take this trade here because this can't attack it anyways. Keep my life total high. Sleep is a great one. Hopefully we hit a land or two here. Get our race on here. They're highlighting my stuff. Do we have a plummet? Wow, that's rough. Huh. I was kind of like, I wouldn't mind getting hit by like a trophy there. Because like trophy would give us a land, which would be nice. But plummet's a little brutal. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play this Djinn out, because it keeps the 2-1 at bay. Assuming they don't have another Doomblade, that is. Really wish we had a 4th island here, not only to cast Sleep, but also so we could use the Stormtamers to protect our Tempest Djinns. Thorn Lieutenant, sure. Island! Island! Ding. Alright, so do I... So, the Thorn Lieutenant's attacking for 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I need to sleep this turn. It's just greedy not to. If I sleep this turn, and then if I draw land next turn, they die. Right? And if I don't draw a land to kill them, I can just leave the Siren Stormtamers back along with the Merfolk Trickster to kill them over the course of 2 turns. Yeah, islands lethal here. Heyo. That was a sweet game. I feel like that game really highlighted some of the strengths of this deck. Like I said, I think this matchup's hard too, so you have some play to the matches that are hard. Like I said, if I expected to play against a lot of green decks, that game also exemplified why Sleep is one of the better cards in a matchup like this. So if you're playing this deck and you're expecting to play against a lot of the green Stompy decks, or like the mid-range aggro decks, I think Sleep is an excellent card to have in your arsenal. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Come on, Magic Arena. I told you Island, Mist-Cloaked Herald, Curious Obsession is always a keep. It's always a keep, chat. Never mulligan. Always keep. Doesn't matter. Some of the times we're going to brick on a land and die, but this one's a good one. How's the new schedule streaming so far? It's pretty good. I had a good time Wednesday night. It was nice doing I actually enjoyed doing a late night stream the other night. Alright, what are the odds we get punished going all in here? Non-zero? Let's do it anyways. Ship it. Anytime these so like, and here's why the Curious Obsession is such a good creature enchantment, right? Like, both these things have replaced themselves, so even if they like kill my Mist-Cloaked Herald here, like, I already drew cards with this, so it's still just a 1-for-1. Use a particular food delivery service. My wife, does she count? I've never actually used any of the third-party delivery services. The Panera and Jimmy John's, they both have in-house delivery. Yeah, this is Root Snare. Okay. Are they playing a fog deck? Okay. Yeah, the way they paused last turn, I felt like they could have had Seal Away, so I wanted to play this out pre-combat to play around that ideally. Do they have Seal Away and they're gonna get me now? Was my read on Seal Away right? No, if they had it, they would have. No, they couldn't have played it in response to this. I'm so confused, chat. I don't think it's Lich. The Lich deck didn't have a basic island in it. Maybe it did. How about I use my no button on that one? I would like to draw 2 cards. No, yeah, confirmed fog. Lich didn't have pause for reflection in it. Discarded Nexus of Fate, yep. Yeah, I think this matchup's probably good for us. We have pressure and counter spells. Probably want to find a counter spell here because they probably want to have sweepers in their main deck. I think I'm just passing. I already burned one retort, so I have 3 retorts and a spell pierce in my deck right now in case they draw a sweeper. Even if they do hit a sweeper here, like the 5 mana kill all the creatures, like I still get to just like probably kill them next turn. So they're going to 8 here, which means this Merfolk Trickster is still lethal. Why do we care about looking for Pierce here? Yeah, I mean, they can root snare here, but like, why would I want to look for it earlier than I did? I don't understand. So I probably want to put enough power into play here that if they gain 3 more, I still kill them next turn. I think even committing this Tempest Djinn, I kind of have enough pressure here. Yeah, but why would I pierce the enchantment when I can just pierce their fog? Like, I don't really care about the enchantment, right? Like, I still have lethal through the enchantment.
Trust me. You'll thank me. No time for a break.
But they could play a land in a fog, because they hadn't played a land for the turn yet. Like, again, it's just like, the enchantment doesn't change anything, and I could spell pierce, yeah. They could fog by playing a land. So, like, the enchantment doesn't do anything, and, like, I could just counter this instead of countering the enchantment. So, like, the line you're asking about has the upside of, like, countering this potentially, but, like, then they're dead, whereas, like, we could still get blown out by a fog. Alright, negates and strokes. Let's do it. I'm gonna bring in... cut these essence scatters. What's the other cut? Thanks, Armored Shoes. I've been having a good time. Good time making arena content. Yeah, just all the counterspells are probably good. Is it just Trickster? Trickster makes our wizard count pretty low for Retort. Yeah, Dive Down's probably not very good, right? They probably don't have a lot of targeted spot removal. That's a good clean. It's a good clean 60. I'm probably leaning on sweepers and whatnot. It shows it to you on the stack view on the right side. It doesn't show you when it's in with the deck on the bottom, which definitely needs an interface improvement. It only shows you on the up and down view, not on the one where it puts your deck across the bottom like I like to use. Remember the rule, chat. The rule will serve you well. Never mulligan these 3 cards. You're not always gonna get there, but you're gonna get there a lot of the time. You like any deck where you can keep Bloodlanders? Fair. Look, chat, it's a coin flip. Either it works or it doesn't, okay? You can pick your basic land art, but there's not a straightforward way of doing it. It's kind of convoluted. That's interesting. Okay. It doesn't even have to be wine compatibility, Cloud Azir. The frame kit that Deckmaster's written in is cross-platform. He just hasn't had time to try and get it to compile on other things. Because, like, theoretically, what's it called? Theoretically speaking, Arena's gonna, like, be native on OS X and maybe even Linux someday. So he said he plans to extend it to other things at some point. It's not on his current roadmap. Speaking of, if there are any nerds out there that understand how to work with the Electron VU framework that Deckmaster has written in, I'm willing to pay somebody dollars if they can make a compile on Ubuntu for me. You'll save me a Windows install. I'd appreciate you. What's going on, Steven? Dollars? No, like the hourly rate that a programmer would expect. So I don't know. What's like 50 bucks an hour? Electron VU. It's some kind of web framework type thing. I don't know. It's outside my range of it. It's not Python. It's not C. So I don't know how to make it work. VUE. If you search Deckmaster extension, you'll find the source code on GitHub. Am I in for a land here? I don't think I am. I think I'm just like looking for counter spells. Like I'm gonna play this Djinn out here, but I feel like I'm in. Electron is a JavaScript framework for making computer apps. Sure, good. And JavaScript is like web type stuff, right? So I kind of understood it. Do I want to commit more to this board? So I have 7 in play. I think I want to put the Mist-Cloaked Herald into play here because that means the Trickster makes it lethal next turn. Is it late for me? It's a little late. My schedule has changed starting this week. I'm going to be going a little bit later on Fridays moving forward. Is this a donation deck? Yeah, Steven. The core of this deck is one of the lists from the open, but someone donated for me to play it. This deck is reasonable, and I think it's pretty competitive if you're looking for a budget deck, but in general, I think I like the blue-black tempo deck that I've played a little bit more than this. So if budget is not a thing that you're looking for and you're looking for a tempo deck instead, I'd recommend checking out the blue-black Pirates deck that we've played a little bit. I think more than this one. This is also a pretty reasonable deck to pick to build if you are... Oh, you know what? I should have played the Storm Siren here because they're going to have a Settle the Wreckage and I'm going to be 1 point short. That's such a tilt. I knew as soon as I clicked to combat 2, I knew what was happening. So I'm hitting them to 1 here, I believe. Or is this lethal? I think they're going to 1, right? Yeah. So like, I would have played this out. My article this week on Cool Stuff had the Pirates deck in it. Yeah. So if I would have played this out, I would have been able to sack the Summoning Sick one and counter that. And like now they're gonna have a chance to draw fogs. Yeah, Siren Stormtamer counters Settle the Wreckage targets you. So Siren Stormtamer can counter it.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Yeah, Settle targets the player. Yeah, I could lose this game now. Definitely could have won.
Keep up the pace.
I think you need to explicitly know the framework, Beetle, because it's supposed to be portable. So like, if the I just get to sit here's just like the super most just punishment for just like missing lethal by a point. Just like have to sit here and watch them take turns. Why is there justice on this stream? I don't understand. I don't understand. I thought this was a no justice stream. They're just like gonna Nexus 6 more times and beat us to death with this Knight of Autumn. Will I be streaming this weekend? Yeah, at some point. I'm gonna take either tomorrow or Sunday off. I'm not sure which day yet, though. I gotta talk to my boss and find out what she wants to do this weekend. What a giver. Yeah, if you look at my stream decker, McBurr, I also tweeted a list on goldfish, and posted it in Discord last night in the standard channel. I can't handle that much power. Welcome. That was not the negate I was looking for. Alright, if they don't die here, I'm gonna concede. Just not playing through a Teferi Emblem. That was a good example of missing a point through a slim margin and then getting thoroughly punished for it. It's gonna be the last game we're gonna play with this one, then we're gonna slide on along to the Sultai Dredge deck. The last one tonight. Never make. I will definitely make that mistake again. Moving quickly and click through it. I think it's hard to mulligan this. Just like, I don't have any disruption, but just like 1, 2, 3 on the play seems really good. I use a text editor called Genie. As in like a Djinn. Wait, this is a $5 uncommon? MTG Finance is so stupid. Like, the arena economy isn't perfect, but the fact that it's insulated from MTG Finance is such a good thing. I hate those people. Just let us play a game. I hate Wizards of the Coast to a degree too from allowing it to exist. Like, Wizards could totally screw with those people if they wanted. It's one uncommon wild card, yep. Alright, so our 1, 2, 3 hand and hoping to draw spells is not panning out so far. Yeah, if you play Arena, you are immune to the finance community. So, that's an upside if you ask me my opinion. Alright, can I have a counterspell, please? Hey, that could be anything, even a counterspell. I have kept up with the Marvel shows on Netflix. Counterspell! Alright, don't Cleansing Nova me. Yeah, the arena content's been huge. I think I might adjust my schedule a little bit more to add more arena content in while standard's super popular. And hopefully standard stays super popular. We'll just keep doing more. like favorable winds would actually be very good in this deck. This deck tends to be kind of threat light. I'm bidding that. We just need counter spells at this point. We deserve to lose this after punting by 1 point in the last one. I might just pack it in. They cast an Excess of Fate here. I'm just gonna move along with my life. Yeah, I'm just bored. That's one of the nice things about Arena. I do this in Magic Online too. We just move along, but you set less money on fire just moving along on Arena, which is nice. Bubbly, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate it. So shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. So mono blue tempo. I think this deck's okay. I think it's playable. I think it's a great budget deck. Like I said, after playing that set, I think I would much rather play the blue-black tempo deck that I played a little bit with. You can find a write-up about the blue-black tempo deck on my article on Cool Stuff Inc. this week. Yeah, and Standard's more accessible to new players too, for sure. Is there a reason to not play Exclusion Mage in the main? Yeah, I mean, your deck's kind of low to the ground. So, like, every card you add to your deck that costs, like, more than 2 mana is, like, a big deal. I think if you expect to play against a lot of, like, the green creature decks, or, like, decks that are putting a bunch of dorks into play, like, both Sleep and Exclusion Mage are, like, reasonable inclusions for the main deck. But I think generically I kind of like this main board. Fragobo, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Alright, Saltside Dredge.